Hi Julie. Hey up Scott, how you doing? I don't know if I'm really dark. It looks really dark to me on screen. I think because I've got the light behind me. Is it too dark? Not that it matters, you can see me not that much, I guess. Not the end of the world. Probably too late to change it anyway now. So apologies if all you can see is a silhouette. Hiya Sue. A little dark. Right, okay, well, I'm not sure I can do much about that actually now because it's been messing things up. Okay though, right. Hey up Matt. Hi Mary. Hi Matthew. Hey Rosie. Hi Andy. Hi Claire. Today I've got my favourite mug, TVR Tez mug. So I'm going to start. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 10:02 a.m.
10:02. When I did it earlier on when I was practicing, it said it's 10 o'clock or whatever, 9:59. Have a good Friday. I was hoping it was going to do it again. Didn't. Let me down. Hi Leah. So yeah, I've been away for 2 or 3 weeks. Well, for 2 weeks. So I've not seen me for a couple of weeks, and we've got a lovely holiday. But we're back now, back into work. Got back on last weekend, and we've been working our way through Proverbs. Or we were even before I went on holiday. But now we're back in Proverbs, and we're approaching the end of Proverbs, and we're on Proverbs 28 today. What I've decided to do is similar to what I did with on the previous one, where I looked through the chapter, and there was a bit of a theme, not on every verse, but a bit of a theme. So I'm going to go with that. And the theme is really about influencers, leaders, managers, call them what you will. It's something that we all are. All of us influence the people around us. So Proverbs 28, so I will just jump through it as I go down. When a country is rebellious, it has many rulers. But a ruler with discernment and knowledge maintains order. A ruler who oppresses the poor is like driving rain that leaves no crop. Those who forsake instruction praise the wicked. Those who heed it resist them. Better the poor whose walk is blameless than the rich whose ways are perverse. Whoever leads the upright along an evil path will fall into their own trap, but the blameless will receive a good inheritance. When the righteous triumph, there is great elation. When the wicked rise to power, people go into hiding. Like a roaring lion or a charging bear is a wicked ruler over a helpless people. A tyrannical ruler practices extortion. The one who hates ill-gotten gain will enjoy a long reign. The one whose walk is blameless is safe, but the one whose ways are perverse will fall into a pit. Whoever rebukes a person will in the end gain favour, rather than one who has a flattering tongue. The greedy stir up conflict, but those who trust in the Lord will prosper. Those who trust in themselves are fools, but those who walk in wisdom are safe. When the wicked rise to power, people go into hiding, but when the wicked perish, the righteous thrive. I mean, obviously the Bible's full of quite poetic language, and there's some words there we wouldn't use. I mean, it's quite rare. We would use words like a roaring lion or a charging bear. I wouldn't even use the word wicked very often. You know, these are words which we don't tend to use very much nowadays, but we understand the point that's being made. We all understand. If you remember a few weeks ago I spoke on Sunday morning about the fact that we're all in some position of influence. All of us are leaders in some way, shape or form. Every single person. All of us rub shoulders with friends, neighbours, family, and all of us are in a position where we can influence that person. Sometimes we're in a position of absolute leadership, sometimes we're in a position of being a manager or a team leader or something of that nature. But every person watching this and every person in the world influences those next to them for good or bad. And that is a responsibility. Now, I've, in the course of my working life, for the last 20, probably 25 years or something like that, I've been in some form of management, leadership. And that's been, you know, sometimes good and sometimes not so good. I've sometimes made some really bad mistakes and sometimes I've done it right. And it's not an exact science, unfortunately. But But I try. I've kept persevering and I've kept trying. When I left my last job and started working at Stannard, who I work for now, for the first 2 or 3 years, the job I went for, which was a better job than I had before, but it wasn't management. And I was quite pleased about that. I was classed as managers, but it wasn't actual people management. And actually, I really enjoyed the first couple of years of that, where I'm like, oh, this is easy, this is brilliant. You're not having to worry about other people all the time. But of course, I did. I just didn't think I did. I was still part of a team, and I was still a heavy influencer. And then I got a promotion, and I've got the job I've got now. Now, we're all in this position, therefore, of being in a position where we influence those around us. And how do we do that? Well, I'm just going to come up with 2 or 3 sort of key phrases, key things where we need to be aware of. First of all, and this is the same in any arena, is we need to put God first. We just need to put God first in everything we do. And I know that isn't always easy, and I know that is easy to say and not always easy to do, but let's put God first. Secondly, and this is something that Leah brought out on Tuesday, is authenticity. What a great word. Surely everybody wants to be seen as authentic. Surely. I mean, the way that authenticity comes across is so authentic. It's so clear. It's brilliant. When you're talking to somebody that you know is you're seeing them warts and all, and you know that they're not putting on airs and graces that are false. This is who they are. Then that's a very convincing person. Let's be authentic in all we do. Let's not pretend that we're from some other place or some other person. Let's just be us. That's good enough. Truthfulness. You know, truthfulness is an interesting one because to a degree, the truth can be a relative term. But we all know what I mean when we're talking about truthfulness. Of course, there are some people that are outliers, and that's one extreme of this. But let's also not be a twisty-turny person. I hope you know what I mean by that, but you know, over the years, I've worked with twisty-turny people, and I've managed twisty-turny people, and I've worked for some twisty-turny people, and I've had customers that are twisty-turny people. They are quite rare, thankfully, but you know, let's not be too clever in our dealings. Let's let our yes be yes and our no be no. Let's not be one of those guys or girls where, you know, you have a conversation with them and you think you've got it nailed, you think you've reached an understanding, and then afterwards that person's saying, well, the spirit behind what we said was such and such, or the letter was such and such, and using your own words against you. Let's be clear in what we're saying, and let's not try and trick people. Let's not be twisters. Similar to that is being true to God, true to our word, and true to ourselves. Let's be straightforward. Let's love others. This is a difficult one in work situations. You know, it's easier at church to tell people that you love them and to act like you love them. Well, maybe it's not always that easy, but it is easier. But at work, we don't go up to people at work and say, well, I love you. That's not what happens. That would be unusual. But, you know, where I work, what we do is we manufacture and sell stair lifts. And in any conversation you have, quite quickly you are scratching the surface of stair lifts. Anything we're talking about, health and safety or anything, cars or whatever it is that's relevant to the conversation, at some point, because culturally what we do as a business is manufacture and sell stair lifts. It's who we are. Let's culturally allow ourselves to love others. Culturally, let's let it be coming out. And we don't need to tell people we love them, but they'll know that we care for them just by our actions. Let's be gracious and kind. I know there are some jobs which allow for this and some jobs that maybe less so. If you're a policeman, you can't always be letting people off. And I don't think that's really what it means. But let's be decent people and let's treat people with grace and with kindness. Linked with that is treating others how we would want to be treated. Have you ever heard somebody talking about you behind the back or become aware that that's happened? It's painful, isn't it? It hurts your feelings. Let's not do that. Let's really guard against that. If we've got to talk about someone behind the back, let's let it be something positive. Wisdom. You know, we'd all like to be more wise, wouldn't we? And I suppose if the only person, I suppose if someone says that they are wise, then they are probably proving that they are actually unwise. But let's aim towards being more wise. Let's cover wisdom, if that's allowed. You know, let's look at wisdom as something that is worthwhile. Let's read Proverbs. I mean, the people that have been doing these devotions on Proverbs, we don't claim to be wise. We're just reading some wise words out that somebody else wrote. Let's read Proverbs, let's listen to these devotions again, and let's get that wisdom inside us so that when we get nudged, positivity comes out. And lastly, let's consider this as well. I said it at the beginning, but let's bring it back to this. Put God first. Where is our trust? Where is our hope? Where is our confidence? In today's society, it's quite easy to have to trust, hope and confidence in yourself most of the time. Only when we become ill or when we have a need do we then maybe all of a sudden realise how vulnerable we are. But most of the time, we're quite strong people, aren't we? And then something happens. When we are strong, let's still put our trust in God, not just when we are weak. When we are strong, let's remember that it's all about Jesus, it's all about his hope, and it's all about the confidence that he gives us. So that's my thoughts on Proverbs 28. I hope that's been interesting. Now we're meeting at the church this Sunday, as you know. So there's a 10 o'clock meeting and there's an 11:30 meeting. Don't just turn up. We've had this on Eventbrite all week, which I think is now shut. However, if you want to go, please don't turn up, but get in touch with us, and if we can fit you in legally, we will do. I'm fairly sure of that. But I think they're setting things up today for it. So please, if you want to go, let us know pronto. But Eventbrite, I'm pretty sure, is now shut. But we would love to see you. I'm pretty sure the 10 o'clock meeting is actually full anyway, but the 11:30 one, I think, has got a couple of free spaces. So hopefully see you on Sunday, and I will no doubt see you next week. All the best. Have a lovely weekend, everybody. Bye now.